Assalamualaikum, it's your Ate Narchesa, and today I'll be sharing a very interesting topic. And this is how for you to get started sa freelancing kahit na zero experience ka. I know that marami sa Facebook, maraming nag-share sa Instagram, all over social media, mga courses nag-o-offer kung paano ba maging freelancer. Well, hindi naman talaga napaka-complicated yung pagiging freelancer. Kailangan mo lang talagang maintindihan kung ano yung mga process na kailangan mong pagdaanan to get to your goal. This video, yan yung pag-uusapan natin ngayon. Kung paano ba mag-start sa freelancing kahit zero experience ka. Back in 2002, I was in the same position. Hindi ko alam kung paano ba mag-start sa freelancing kasi wala naman akong experience. And although I signed up for a course, hindi rin siya enough, you know. So marami ka talagang pagdadaanan. But you will learn along the way. So in this video, I would share with you guys kung ano yung mga importanteng steps na kailangan nyong malaman for you to get started. So let's first talk about the difference between traditional job and freelancing. Yung traditional jobs na makikita nyo, kagaya ng mga BPOs or mga working sa government or private corporations, mga blue-collar jobs, these are the traditional 9-to-5 jobs that we see. The difference between freelancing is yung mga international clients kasi, they are looking for somebody na ma-outsource nila. So, instead na mag-hire sila ng kapareho nila ng lahi, is they would look for Filipinos or not just in Philippines but also in India or Bangladesh or somewhere in different parts of the world na kung saan makaka-less sila ng cost. Kaya sila nag-outsource ng mga tao. But even though if they cut their budget to 50%, let's say 70%, kung i-convert yan dito sa Philippines, malaki pa rin, 'di ba? Para sa mga freelancers na kagaya natin. So, yung nakaganda lang dito is you have more flexibility. But it still depend on you kung gusto nyo and kung kaya nyong i-negotiate yung flexibility na hinahanap nyo. From my experience, from my 2 years of experience as a freelancer, I figured out kung ano ba talaga yung kailangan para makahanap kayo ng client. Kasi sasabihin ng iba, kailangan mo ng skills, kailangan mong mag-learn ng at least 2 to 3 skills, kailangan mong magtutong mag-outreach, ganyan. Yes, importante yon. Pero, there is a missing link kung bakit nagkakaroon yung iba ng client, at bakit ikaw is hanggang ngayon is wala pa. So in this video, I will help you to get you attract those clients. So ready na ba kayo? If you enjoyed this video, feel free to subscribe to my channel, comment down below kung may mga questions kayo, and i-share nyo doon naman to sa iba para naman makatulong tayo. So let's talk about our first topic, yung pag-intindi about what is freelancing. Kasi, yung sa iba, akala nila freelancing is go to Upwork, find a client, done. So, yun yung pagkakaintindi nila. But, you know guys, hindi lang ganun po yung freelancing. If you want to get into this niche, you need to understand that right now, you are not an employee anymore. If you're going to transform your current job right now to freelancing, that means you're shifting yourself from traditional 9-to-5 to working as a self-employed, a business owner for yourself. Yan yung kaibahan ng freelancing. Another thing is, yung freelancing is the same thing with traditional jobs. It also has its advantages and disadvantages. So I have a video where I discuss about it. You can also look into it. And hindi natin siya pag-uusapan masyado. So let's go on to the next important thing is yung inyong unique value proposition. So, ano ba yung unique value proposition? So, while you have your skills, kasi marami namang freelancers sa mundo di ba? But, what will make buyers or clients pay for you? Try to answer that. Ano ba yung unique sa inyo, unique sa services nyo, na magbabayad yung client? Right? Kasi, ano naman sa client kung hindi mo kayang isolve yung problem niya? Right? So, yun yung mga importante nyong malaman. And, hindi naman to para sa atin Yung pag-freelancing this is not about us. This is not about showing how good we are, but how capable we are of helping yung mga potential client natin. So, yan yung importanteng malaman nyo about freelancing. Third, choosing a profitable market. So, paano ba malaman kung anong market or ano yung target audience nyo na bibili? Kasi, imagine, ito yung product nyo. Napakagaling, napakahusay ng services nyo. Okay? Just try to imagine. Then, yung market nyo is, hindi naman siya mag-fit. Wala namang taong gusto ng solution na ginawa nyo. So, there's still nothing, there's still no income, kumbaga, dun sa napili nyo, kung hindi naman siya mag-fit. So, kailangan, you need to target the audience, kung ano ba yung kailangan ng mga tao na tinatarget nyo. Example, halimbawa, yung target nyo is mga, let's say mga real estate companies or real estate agents na gusto nilang ma-penetrate si Facebook or gusto nilang mas gumanda yung influence nila sa other socials like TikTok or Instagram. So, ganun. Then, i-gauge nyo kung yung services nyo sa kung ano yung kinakailangan na solution. So, ganun yun siya. Hindi enough na sasabihin nyo, marunong ako ng ganito. Yung skills ko, marunong ako ng ganito. Pero kung yung skills mo naman, hindi siya tumpak sa target market mo, is mahihirapan ka. So, try to align the two. Okay? Alright. Now, let's continue. Another tip for you guys, kung gusto nyo mas maangkop or mas ma-fit yung product nyo sa inyong market, is try to look into Google. Kasi, the data is already there. Right? Hindi na natin kailangan mag-conduct ng napakahabang research para malaman natin kung ano ba yung mga problema. So, what you need to do is go to Google and then find the, let's say, top 5 most recurring problem sa specific niche. Okay? So, yun yung i-type nyo. And then, si Google is maglalabas na yun siya ng napakaraming suggestions. So, it's up to you to figure it out. Let's go to tip number 3. Building your online presence. Bakit importanteng mag-build ng personal brand? Okay. Dahil, ito, no matter how good you are, no matter how top-notch yung mga ino-offer mo, services mo, kahit na gaano ka galing, kapag wala namang nakakakilala sa'yo, wala namang may alam about sa'yo, so mahihirapan ka pa rin maghanap ng client, di ba? So kaya I encourage you guys to build up your own social platforms. Let's say, kung hiyang kayo sa Facebook, kung dito yung mga client nyo, gawa kayo ng Facebook na relate para sa business nyo. If let's say, LinkedIn, kagaya ko, so i-focus nyo si LinkedIn, or TikTok, or YouTube, or Instagram, yung Pinterest. So yun, don't limit yourself sa isang lang. Let's say, focus mo lang yung self mo na maghahanap ka lang ng client through Upwork. Kasi, pag marami na kasi yung mga freelancer sa Upwork, and then kung yung nagkikipag-compete kayo, nagbibigay kayo ng mga proposals, is mahirap makipag-compete. But, if you're going to position yourself as somebody that they can look into, or somebody as a go-to person, dahil you are establishing your brand online, mas may edge kayo. Tama? Yeah. So, ito, my question. Kailangan bang magkaroon ng website para magkaroon ng client? Technically, hindi po siya necessary. Why? I myself, nagsimula po ako nang wala akong website. And I didn't really even have a portfolio. This is true story ha. I didn't have a portfolio when I started, but I built an online presence. I started with LinkedIn. I growed my following there, and people started noticing me, and doon ako nakahanap ng client. So, it can be in different ways para makahanap kayo ng client. The important thing is, kailangan i-position nyo yung self nyo as a go-to person sa niche na pipiliin nyo. Ano ito? Yung panglima, create a portfolio. O kung hindi portfolio, create a strategy. Kasi, yung people kasi, yung mindset kasi ng client, pag sinabi mong, would you like me to send my portfolio to you? Parang yun pa lang, approach pa lang yun, si client, the dollars na yung nasa utak. So, mag-iisip na siya na, bibentahan ako nito. Ganon. So, yung gagawin nyo is, I believe that I have a strategy that would fit to your current need. Would you like me to send it to you? So, ganon yung approach nyo. You are still positioning yourself as somebody, as a go-to person, or somebody na mas, yung kumbaga, experiensyado or expert, kumbaga, sa niche nyo. Diba? Kung ikaw ngayon si client, kung merong isa na magsisend lang ng portfolio, or yung isa na mag-o-offer ng strategies, sino sa tingin nyo yung mas kapani-paniwala? Diba? Yung strategy. Okay, but anyway, portfolio sa iba, but try to shift yung atake nyo, gawin nyo siyang strategy, and I'm sure it's gonna be more effective. Yung pang-anim naman is finding clients. Ito na. So, once established na yung mga na-mention ko earlier, the next step is finding your clients. Kasi hindi naman diretsong lalapit ka agad yung mga client or may mga referrals ka agad. Kailangan, you need to go through the process of reaching out to people. So, you can either reach out to them, send them a direct message, or engage with their post. So, ganun. Yung mga paraan na yon is your way of building trust. Ito, tip ko to sa inyo ha. Pag nag-send na kayo ng mga personalized message nyo, huwag kaagad na mag-offer kaagad kayo na kaya kong gawin to. Or ano bang problema mo? Kasi makikot off guard sila. Makukot off guard yung client, and they would get like anxious, or they would get intimidated by your approach. So, kailangan i-establish nyo muna yung rapport bago man kayo mag-talk about or mag-open up about sa mga services na ina-offer nyo. Ito, yung pampito, very important, pricing. Kasi yung iba natatakot magbigay ng price. Ito yung pinaka nahirapan ako when I started, especially in my first 3 months of really getting clients. Kasi naiilang ka pa magsalita, naiilang ka pa na sabihin na ito yung rate ko. Dati sinasabi ko pang, is it okay? Which is not good. Kasi parang hindi ka confident sa price mo. You need to be confident about your price. And also, you need to look into it to make sure that the services that you provide, the products you sell, really matches the value that the customers pay for. Some clients, they would ask you kung ano ba yung gusto nyo. Is it timely, like hourly, or is it by value that you provide? Let's say naka-package siya, ganun. Or monthly retainers, yung every month kayong may fixed amount na ibabayad. So, yun yung mga ways. Or, let's say yung client nyo is, digital marketing. So, you can also ask for commission. Ganyan. Don't be scared to ask. If they say they can't, the most important thing is nagtanong ka. So, yun. I have a lot more tips for you guys, but yan lang muna sa ngayon. Kung gusto nyong matuto kung paano makahanap ng client gamit si LinkedIn, I would share a comment I would share the link in the comments para i-try nyo. Why not? Diba? I'm not forcing you to do it, but see for yourself. And I've added templates there, outreach that you can use, templates for negotiating prices, etc., etc. So, I hope makatulong yun sa inyo. So, that's all for today. I am very happy to be with you guys. And sana may natutunan kayo sa video na to. Again, if you think this video is really helpful, don't hesitate to share this with other people. Subscribe to my channel and comment nyo kung may natutunan ba kayo dito. See you in the next video. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.